All right, good afternoon, everyone. Just hopping on a minute early just to make sure that the sound and visual is working okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Welcome to an all levels flow with Yoga Buzz. Our mission is to make yoga accessible, and being able to put yoga online allows us to do just that. So thanks for joining us today. I did include an option to donate to Yoga Buzz here in the video. So your support really helps out continuing our mission of making yoga accessible, but helping support our yoga teachers during this time and being able to continue to bring yoga to you live and on our website. And I've also included in the description for you today a playlist. So I'm not playing music here, but if you wanted to play some music at home, I've got some suggestions for you in a playlist there, so you could copy and paste that link and get that going. But yeah, we'll get started in a comfortable seat today. So you don't really need anything other than your yoga mat or a towel. If you don't have a mat at home, even a blanket would work fine. And you don't really need anything else. If you have some blocks, that's always helpful, or you can grab a book or maybe a couch pillow as well. But really don't need anything but yourself for this flow today. So go ahead, have a comfortable seat, and feel free to close your eyes or maybe soften your gaze. And then just take a few moments here to start to feel centered. And I'm just gonna check. Yep, seems like everything's working okay. So start to bring that intention in towards your breath. Just allowing yourself to breathe naturally. And as you breathe, noticing your belly expanding and contracting. Maybe noticing your chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And maybe keeping that breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose to warm up the body with the breath. So just noticing the breath, allowing it to be what it is. And then we'll start to open the eyes if they're closed. Bring your hands together in front of the heart. Let's inhale through the nose, really fill up the lungs. And exhale through the nose to empty. Try that again. Inhale. Exhale. Good. We're going to add some breath to move, or some movement to our breath. So as you inhale, reach your palms up overhead. And as you exhale, allow your arms to open, coming down by your side. Inhale to reach back up, bring those palms together. Exhale to bring the hands back in front of the heart. Inhale, press up. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open. Good. So try to sit up tall here. Reach one hand behind your back and your opposite hand on the thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to turn to your side. So I'm turning to my right here. And maybe with every inhale, grow a little taller. And as you exhale, twist a little deeper. And if it feels okay on your neck, you could look over your back shoulder. And then gently start to come back towards the front of the room. And we'll take the other side. So my left hand reaches back, right hand to the thigh. Sit up tall, inhale. Exhale to twist. Keep breathing here in your twist. Try not to hold your breath during any of our poses tonight. Or today. It's only noon. And slowly come back to the center. And then let's go back to the right side again. Sit up tall and then twist. And then gently come back to the left side. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, twist. And come back out. One more side, or one more time to each side. So to the right this time. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And one more time to the left. One more big inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. And go ahead, come back to the front. We'll come onto hands and knees, so you can come over your knees or swing those legs back around behind you. Bring your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Spread your hands nice and wide. Bring those shins into the mat for tabletop position. So flat back to start with. And then start to lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. Bring that chest forward for cow pose. Then round through the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone for cat pose. Inhale back to cow. And exhale to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then just keep moving at your own pace. If you don't like matching breath to movement, that's okay. Just keep moving, just keep breathing. Your back might pop a little bit, that's okay too. Mine pops a lot. Do a couple more rounds. And feel free to add in any other movement that feels good. So maybe shifting the weight forward, shifting it back. Maybe side to side feels good. You could add some circles here. And then switching directions. So just kind of anything that feels good to loosen up the body here. Then bring your big toes to touch behind you. And your knees can stay where they are. You could walk them out a little wider. Sit your hips back over your heels for a child's pose. So you might have to walk your hands forward a few inches. And take a couple deep breaths here in your child's pose. Good. And I'm going to turn to face this way. We're going to add a side stretch here. So walk your hands over to your right. And then you can look under your left arm. Finding that side stretch through the left side of the body. And then walk the hands back through the middle and over to the other side. And maybe turn to look under your right shoulder, finding that side stretch. And then come come back to all fours, hands and knees. And we're gonna do some planks just to warm up the core. So you can stay on your knees here and just walk them back a few inches so that your hips are now in front of your knees. So you're in this low plank. So the shoulders stay over the wrist. And want to find that core engagement here. We're not going to do a whole lot of core today, but we do want to warm it up before we get moving. Another variation you could take would be to tuck your toes and lift your knees up, coming into more of a top of a push-up here. And so if your knees are lifted, think of reaching those back of the thighs or even your inner thighs towards the ceiling here. Fingers stay spread wide. We're going to hold it for a few rounds of breath. Good. And then you can go ahead and lower those knees if they're lifted. But keep your toes tucked. We're going to find our first down dog of the day. So when you're ready, you might have to walk your hands forward an inch or two. Tuck the toes, press the hips up and back. And then feel free to pedal the feet out here, maybe move the hips from side to side. Anything that feels good in your first down dog of the day. I like to come up onto the balls of my feet and then reach my heels down. You could even move to a plank and then back to down dog, anything that feels good. But know that you can always keep your knees bent in down dog. So think of more of reaching the hips towards the ceiling, the chest towards the thighs. And then start to look towards the top of your mat. Walk your feet forward behind your hands, setting up for a forward fold. So hinging at the hips, let the head hang heavy. Maybe move those hips from side to side or shake the head yes and no. Your knees can always stay bent in forward fold as well. And then press those feet into the mat to help you lift up. So we're going to lift the chest, come all the way up to standing. Take a few shoulder rolls here at the top. So bring those shoulders up, back, and down. And then let's come back towards the top of the mat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. We'll call this heart center. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to fold forward. So let your arms come down by your side, hinging at the hips. Then slide those hands up to maybe the shins or the thighs. Find a flat back parallel with the ground for halfway lift. And then slide those hands back down, fold forward. Big inhale, we're gonna come all the way up, reach the arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Big inhale, come on up, reach up, maybe even look up. Exhale, heart center. Awesome. We're going to add a chair into our flow today. So your feet can be about hip distance apart, or you can bring your big toes to touch. So keep your chest lifted, shoulders down. And then when you're ready, you can sit your hips back and down, finding that chair pose. Your hands can stay in heart center. You could bring your arms out in front of you or even up overhead. And then try to watch your back. Make sure, we might have a C curve here. If you can bring that booty in slightly and go for more of a flat back, just to protect our low back here. So keep breathing, don't hold your breath in chair. And then you can go ahead, stand on up and shake it out. And do a couple more chairs. So again, when you're ready, bring those hips back and down, find your chair pose. Maybe add the arms. Think of squeezing those inner thighs, your core, and your arms all into the middle. And then bring your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers here and bring those shoulders away from the ears. So we're opening up through the chest. Then start to fold forward over your chair. Keep your hands together. So your hands reach towards the ceiling, head reaches towards the mat. Keep that chest open. And then go ahead, slowly release those hands back to your low back and then down to the mat here. Folding forward. Find a slight bend of the knees here. We're gonna pop up to our chair pose. So start to bring those hips back down, chest lifts up, maybe add the arms up. And then go ahead, stand it up, shake it out. So we're gonna do one more variation of chair. So when you're ready, hips back and down. Keep that chest lifted, core is engaged. And then turn your chest to your right, and then open your arms out wide so your right hand is reaching towards the ceiling, and your left hand is coming to the outside of the right thigh. And then you can use that hand-to-thigh connection to help you twist a little deeper. And if it feels okay on your neck, you can look up towards that top hand, or you can just look down. Anything that feels good to you. And come back to the middle, bring those hands back to the heart. Turn to the left, and then open the arms up wide again. This is our last chair, so we're already got our legs worked today. So come back to the middle and stand it back on up. Good, feel free to shake it out. Maybe grab a drink of water. And let's come to a mountain pose. So just standing up tall, but we're gonna engage all of our muscles. So pressing, starting with the feet. Think of pressing all four corners of your feet into the mat. And then maybe squeeze the glutes a little bit to help you find that core engagement. Your arms can be down by your side, your palms facing forward. Allow the shoulders to stay out of the ears. And then you can close your eyes or find a spot on the ground. And let's inhale through the nose and open mouth exhale. So sigh some of that breath out. So inhale through the nose again. Exhale to sigh. It feels good. And you will keep it moving. So come back to the top of your mat. Bring your hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And then we're going to take a big step back with the right leg. So coming into a low lunge here. So you have a couple options. You can keep the back or your right knee on the mat if that feels more supportive for you. Or you can keep the knee lifted. It's totally up to you. And then from here, we'll lift the chest. So you might want to walk the hands up the thigh or reach the arms up overhead. Coming into our high lunge. And you can hold your high lunge, or if you want to add a few reps, bend that back knee and then straighten it again. And if you want to add the arms, you could bring the arms down as you bend the knee and then lift them back up. So let's try 2 more times. with those lunges. And then come back up. And then wherever you're at, bring your hands back behind you again, interlace the fingers, and draw the hands down and away. So finding that chest opener again here in our high lunge. Go ahead, release the hands, inhale to reach up. Exhale, lower the hands back down to the mat. And then take a big step back with your front foot to a downward dog. And feel free to find some movement in your down dog if you'd like. You could pedal up those feet again. You could come onto the balls of the feet and then back to the heels. Anything that feels good. And then go ahead, look towards the top of your mat and walk those feet back behind your hands to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Big inhale, come on up, reach up, palms together. Exhale, heart center. Awesome, we're gonna do that other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This time, taking a big step back with the left leg. Find your low lunge. Can always keep the knee on the mat. And then when you're ready, lift the chest up. Find your high lunge. So you can stay here in your lunge, or you can add those reps with me. So bending the back knee, and then straightening it again. Maybe you add the arms, maybe only do the arms. So if your back knee's grounded, you could play around with just moving the arms up and down. And let's do one more. Come back up, and then bring those hands down behind you, interlace the fingers, open up through the chest. Release the hands, inhale to reach up. Exhale, lower the hands back down. Right foot steps back to down dog. And take a few breaths in your down dog here. Anything that feels good. And then look forward and walk those feet up to the top of your mat for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back up, reach up. Exhale, heart center. Awesome. We're gonna add on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take a big step back with your right leg again. So find your low lunge. So a few options here. You could keep your back knee grounded. You could keep your back toes facing forward with your knee lifted. Or you could spin that back heel down so your toes are almost like a 45-degree angle. But wherever you're at, try to keep your hips facing the short edge of your mat. And then when you're ready, you can walk the hands up the thigh or lift the arms overhead, coming into our warrior one. So shoulders over hips. And then we'll bring those hands down and interlace the fingers again. Find that chest opener. So you can always stay here. Or we're going to add a humble warrior. So folding inside that front knee, reaching the head down, hands up. So keeping the chest open. And then you can stay in humble warrior. Or if you want to add a few repetitions with me, we're going to inhale to come up, lift the chest. And then exhale to fold forward again. to humble warrior. So let's try that again. Inhale to come up. So you can do this with your back knee grounded. And then exhale to fold in. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, humble warrior. One more inhale to come back up. And then release your hands. So bring your hands to your hips. And then the back foot is going to step forward to the top of your mat. Come to your big right toe. So our weight is in the left foot, on the big right toe here. Add the hands to heart center, and then turn your right knee out. So we're gonna do a tree pose here. So you're already in tree if you're here, and you can stay right here. Before you go any further, I recommend finding a spot on the ground just to help you keep your balance. If you'd like to add on from here, you could always bring that foot up to the calf. You could grow your branches. You could bring your foot inside your thigh. Just don't press it against your knee. And then if you wanted to challenge your balance, you could look up. You could close your eyes. It's okay if your tree blows in the wind, that's okay. And then wherever you're at in your tree, just slowly start to come down. And maybe shake it out if you need to. Or take a drink of water, take a few deep breaths. We're gonna set up for the other side. So I'm gonna come over here so you can still see me okay. So let's inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And take a big step back with the left leg. So again, lots of options. You could stay on that back knee. Keep that knee grounded. You might want to add a cushion or a blanket or something to help your knee. You could also fold your mat in half. Or not in half, but you could fold it over so that you have more cushion. Or you could keep that knee lifted. Or come onto that back heel. Keep those toes out about 45 degrees. Keep your hips facing the short edge of your mat. Come on up to warrior one. So shoulders over hips. You might have to widen your stance some. See what feels good for you. I used to hate warrior one because of the way it made my ankle feel. So you can always come to a crescent lunge until you get used to playing around with that, see how that feels. And then bring your hands back down, interlace the fingers, open up through the chest. So you can always stay here or come into our humble warrior. So folding forward, hands reach up, head reaches down. Then you can hold your humble warrior or inhale to reach up. And exhale back down. Inhale up. Exhale down, humble warrior. One more, inhale up. Exhale lower. Inhale back up. And then release those hands. Bring them to your hips. Take a big step forward with the back foot to set up for your tree pose. So come onto your left toe. Turn that knee outward. Hands can be wherever you'd like them to be, really. And same with your left foot. You can keep it grounded in this kickstand. You can come to the calf or come to the inner thigh. Find your focal point to help you balance. Then maybe add the arms. Maybe close your eyes. And it's okay if one side is different than the other. That's pretty common. And then when you're ready, slowly start to lower your arms, Lower that left foot back to the mat and maybe just kind of shake it out a little bit. So we're gonna come to a wide stance. So face the long edge of your mat this time and take those feet out nice and wide. Your toes can still face the long edge of the mat. Bring your arms out wide as well. And then turn your right toes forward. And then you might have to adjust your stance a little bit. When you bend that right knee, you want to make sure it's not going too far in front of your ankle, or you could even take it out a little wider. And think of rooting into that back outside edge of the foot there. Stay tall in the upper body. And then look over your right middle finger. Just bring your gaze right over that hand. Good. From Warrior 2, let's straighten that front leg, reach the arms up, palms together, and then come back to Warrior 2. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come back to Warrior 2. Inhale, reach. Exhale, Warrior 2. One more inhale to come back up. And keep that front leg straight, but you can bring the arms down. Shift that weight forward over your front leg, and then lower that right hand to the leg, left arm up towards the ceiling. So this is where if you have a block, you could use it here. But you can always rest your hand on your leg or your ankle, your foot, wherever feels good to you. But try to keep your chest lifted so that you're not folding forward, but opening up through the chest. Our back is flat. And you can look up at your top hand or really anywhere that feels good on your neck. I like to do this pose against the wall too, just to help with my alignment, making sure my chest is open, my back is flat. And bring your gaze back down towards that right foot. Bend the right knee. We're going to come back up to Warrior 2. Shift your weight forward again. Turn your right hand up towards the ceiling. Come to Reverse Warrior. So right hand reaches up. Left hand can rest on the back leg. Come back to Warrior 2. Bring your forearm to your thigh. Left arm reaches up for side angle pose. So lots of options for side angle pose. Again, you could use your block. You could have it here. You could reach that top arm up overhead, finding more of a side stretch. You could also add your right arm for more of a core challenge. So maybe play around with that. Come back to Warrior 2. Take an inhale to help you get there. And exhale. Cartwheel those hands forward. Turn those back toes forward. Coming to a low lunge. Lower your back knee. And swing that other knee to meet it. Find a child's pose here. And take a couple deep breaths. And then you can start to look up and go ahead, walk your feet back up to forward fold to the top of your mat and slowly go ahead, rise on up. I'm going to bring my block with me just in case I want to use it on the other side. So start with the feet nice and wide again. Bring your arms out and then turn your left toes forward this time. So you might check your alignment. It's nice to have that front heel in line with the center of the back foot. And then bend that left knee. You might have to adjust your stance. And then look over your left middle finger, reaching your fingertips towards opposite ends of the room. Try to keep your shoulders out of the ears. Maybe even squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then straighten the front leg, lift the arms up, palms together. And back to warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. One more inhale to straighten that front leg. Keep it straight. Exhale to lower the arms back parallel with your mat. Reach that left arm forward first, and then bring it down, maybe to the leg, your block, the ground, your book, whatever you're using today is fine. Keep that chest open and lifted. Right hand up. So we're trying to stack our shoulders, maybe even stack the hips here in our triangle pose. Bring your gaze maybe to your foot, or right in front of you, or up towards your top hand. And then bring that gaze back down towards your left foot. Bend your left knee. We're going to inhale back to warrior two. Then reach that left arm forward again. Turn the palm up towards the ceiling and reverse your warrior. Left hand reaches up, right hand reaches back. So in your reverse warrior, you could also bring your right hand to your back or maybe to your front thigh. You could reach your top hand overhead. Lots of variations. Come back to warrior two for just a breath here. Left forearm to left thigh, right hand reaches up, side angle pose. So again, any variation that you like in side angle is fine. We just want to keep that bend in the left knee. Try not to dump your weight onto your forearm or your thigh. Maybe reach the arm up overhead. Maybe look under that top arm. You could use your block. You could change the height of your block to be more within reach. Or you could add a core challenge here by lifting both arms. When you're ready, inhale back to warrior two. Exhale. Let's cartwheel the arms forward. Turn those back toes forward, low lunge. Bend the back knee. Swing that front knee back around, setting up for your child's pose. So you can keep the knees more in line with the hips or bring them out wide. And then slowly start to come up from your child's pose. We're going to come onto a seat. So you can swing those legs around in front of you. And sit up tall here. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. So nice flat back, just like we did in chair pose. And we're going to do a boat pose. So we do have a little bit more core work for you today. But there are lots of options. So first, you could, so we want to release our arms out, parallel with our mat. And then start to bring our back down towards our mat, but just slightly. We don't have to go down too far before you start to feel that core engage. And you might start to shake. I shake a lot in boat pose, so it's totally fine. That just means that it's working. So you can stay right here. If this is too much, you could always rest your hands on the back of your thighs, but just try not to pull too much. You can stay here or lift your feet off of the mat. Here's where I really start to shake. Or you could straighten your legs, reach the arms up. So again, lots of options in boat pose. Try to keep your back straight and flat. Try not to hold your breath. And then we'll slowly start to bring those feet back down. Bring that chest towards the thighs. Release that tension in the low back. So we're going to do it again. And we're going to add on this time. You can do exactly what you did the first time around. I'm just going to show you another option. So arms come out. Maybe lift the feet off the mat. Back is flat. So your option here could be to cross your right ankle over your left. Maybe straighten the legs. Maybe add the arms. Just gonna hold it for a few breaths. And then slowly start to come down. Bring that chest forward, release that tension. So if your legs are lifted, you might also notice your quads burning. So that's just a little added bonus to our boat pose. And then we'll do one more, just to round it out. So bring those arms forward, check in with your spine, make sure that back is flat, your core is engaged here. Maybe bring it back down a little bit, maybe add the legs, and cross those ankles, this time left over right. So you don't have to do the same thing you did the last time around as far as where your legs are. I'm bending them this time. So any variation is fine. And then we'll slowly come back down. Lift that chest forward. And then go ahead and let your knees come out wide. Bring the soles of your feet together and sit up tall here. So this is always my favorite stretch to do after boat pose. It just feels good on my thighs, good on my spine. And it's okay if the outer edges of your feet don't touch. Mine don't touch here. And sit up nice and tall. Maybe inhale. And as you exhale, feel free to hinge at the hips here. Try to keep your back nice and straight though. And then slowly come back up. Walk your feet out in front of you a few more inches so you're more in a diamond shape. And then go ahead, sit up tall again. And maybe full forward. So you'll notice more of a stretch through the outer hips here versus the inner thighs. And then go ahead, come back up. And bring your legs out in front of you. Flex your feet so your toes are pointing towards you. Sit up tall. Bring your hands outside your hips. Lift that chest up. Good. Then bend your knees. Bring your knees to your chest and grab the bottoms of your feet. So this one's always fun to do, especially at home if you're on the carpet or if you're wearing socks. See if you can slide your heels forward. Try to keep your chest and your thighs connected and keep moving those heels forward just until it feels like your chest is gonna come away from your thighs, and then that's where you wanna stop. So your legs might not be straight here like they would in a traditional staff pose where we're folding forward over our legs, stretching our hamstrings. And that's okay, that's kind of the point here. It's just to get a deeper stretch. And then slowly come back up. Go ahead, plant the feet on the mat. And I promise we're not gonna do another boat pose, but lift your arms up, we're gonna slowly come back down. Straighten the legs here, bring your arms overhead, take a full body stretch. And then go ahead, start to set up for your final resting pose. You can stay on your back and extend your legs forward. Allow your arms to rest by your side. You could have one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. You could also be on your side, or you could come up to a comfortable seat. It's really any pose that works for you. And today's class went by so fast, so I really encourage you to stay here for a few more minutes in your final resting pose. Feel free to pause the video here and close your eyes. Allow any tension, any stress in the body that you're holding on to just float away with your exhales. And if you're feeling any tension anywhere, you might send a few deep breaths towards that part of the body, especially the hips. But stay here. Allow your muscles to repair and recover and relax. And then whenever you're ready, you can come on out of that pose. But take your time, be gentle on yourself, be easy on yourself. We're all in this together and taking it day by day. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining Yoga Buzz. See you next time. Thanks, everyone.